Hey, I'm back. Okay, so I only have a few minutes and I had been wanting to answer these questions and I figured it's now or never because that's just like how life works, right? So basically I did a video, I want to say last week, where I shared a little bit about my LipSense and Senegent's business and a little bit about it because I had started getting a lot of questions. I think probably because people are starting to play with the idea the new year is coming. Maybe they are really thinking about doing something to pick up some side cash. I'm not really sure why it came all of a sudden, but I thought I haven't talked about this in a while. I'm just going to go on all at one time and I'm going to like answer all the questions. Well, then I got amazing follow-up questions, like hard ones, like really good follow-up questions where like the girls were just really real. And I thought, I'm not just going to answer the softball questions. Here, let me answer the like tougher ones that are a little more like personal. So these come from like 4 different girls, but I'm just going to go for it, okay? I'm going to do my very best. We're going to do it quick. Why do you think that this worked for you compared to insert the blank? Like, I don't want to talk about the other company just because it's wonderful and there are still people that do wonderful with it. But why do I think this worked for me when the other, it looked successful and I didn't make any real money? Okay, so number 1, this company is direct sales and multi-level marketing. So people can make a great living working hard and just selling the product. So they can just be like their own little boutique specializing in beauty and skincare and all of that. 2, the multi-level marketing side of it, never seen anything like this that pays like this pays. It's just, I've got a video on YouTube if you want details about why it's so lucrative, that's there. 2, this is gonna sound crazy, but you have to track with me for a hot second. This doesn't actually have any real competition. So most other MLMs that are out there, there's gonna be, thanks honey. I have this is one of my first video tutorial on YouTube. Is up there, is these waves. Everything out there is going to have a direct competitor. There's so many great shake companies. There are great fitness and lifestyle companies. There are great essential oil companies. There are great, jewelry. Everything has like direct, legitimate competition. Fact, as of right now and for the foreseeable future, because we have all of the patents, hey honey, we don't actually have any real competition. There is no, hold on, I'm like blown out. The window light is big. There's no lipstick that does that and doesn't dry out your lips. That's the key. Not only does it just stay on, it doesn't dry out your lips. Then we don't just have that. We also have unparalleled skincare and cosmetics. Like my makeup was my sunscreen all year last year in Mexico, in Hawaii, like in the pool, out of the pool, goggles on, goggles off, like I still had my face on. And so there's just nothing else that does that. And so while there's other cosmetics, there's nothing that can compete with these ones or the skincare. And the more you get into it and the more you know about it, like that really makes a difference. The other reason I think that this worked as compared to the other ones is because girls don't have to be able to drop $600 to get started. A girl could be interested in it and then she just has a party and sees how it goes. And if it goes great and the response is huge, then she can roll with it. If she doesn't get the reaction she was really hoping for, she takes the hostess rewards and she loves the product, but she hasn't lost anything. So there's not a risk that stops people from even dipping their toe in. Then you add to that the fact that there's money back guarantees on like everything. And then on top of that, there's no monthly auto ship. So girls who do decide that they want to have a party and it goes well, so they keep going with it, they don't have this heavy thing hanging over their heads thinking I have to like sell. I have to do this now. I have to make it worth it so that I can keep going. Instead, it can be something where they have fun. Hi, Isatel. They can like enjoy it. They can like, not everybody wants something where they work like I work. I just am made like this and I love to do that. People can have it be just an enjoyable side business. And so because there wasn't like all of that involved in new people trying it, my team grew really fast, and I was like, I was blown away by it. So I was sharing about it. And so that had a huge, huge impact on why this worked for me, where other things I've been good at one aspect of it, but it's never been like this before. Same with the product. People aren't afraid to try it because it's like Costco. You can always take it back. And so even if I've got friends, or I've got more customers that are not local than I do that are local, because I'll help color match. But like at the end of the day, if it just doesn't work for them, they send it back to me. I've done, I think, 2 refunds. Sometimes people, it's very rare, but sometimes it doesn't mesh with them. Sometimes maybe they don't like it. That's okay. They can try it. I don't get offended if it doesn't work for them. That means like they're not afraid to buy. Like the whole, it's like a combination of factors that just made this work. You add to it the fact that like feeling pretty can be like kind of monumental in a woman's life. And I was just at a point where like I needed that. Like I just really needed that. And there was something about having lipstick on that just made me feel a little bit less like a hot mess. And that is really common. So that all helped too. Hey, April. Okay, so next question. Here's a hard one, and I'm going to be super honest, okay? And if like that's not how you see things, that's totally okay. Are you satisfied with the ingredients being healthy and non-toxic? And she's asking this because she knows like my prior stuff is really health oriented. And I'm just going to have to answer with a resounding yes for 2 reasons. I'm going to get the one that might offend people out of the way first, okay? And understand this is just my perspective, and if you don't agree, that's totally okay. Like I have friends that don't agree with me all the time. I'm okay with it. I feel like there is a lot of drama and people like that maybe make their living blogging, people that make their living reviewing other products so that then they can sell their product, and just kind of the blogosphere as a whole has become a little bit like fear and panic based. And so people like to fixate on all of these things that when you go in and you do research, like independently of who's talking to you, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I was like freaking out that this isn't everything. And like, that's because you can say, oh, this is in, oh, you could say, oh, this ingredient is in yoga mats. Oh my gosh, that's the worst thing ever. And then like you go and you do a little research and you're like, oh, that has absolute, like, this is not yoga mat food I'm eating. This is just that ingredient does more than one thing. And so it's useful in a variety of situations. And I really feel like clickbait, and then people that are well-meaning, but like honestly, it can be taken to really like some extreme things. Is everybody okay with every ingredient? Of course not, but like there isn't anything out there like that. I love, this is 98% natural and 2% science. And as somebody that's tried a lot of 100% natural things, let me just say I really appreciate the 2% science, because this stuff really, really works. Like look at my forehead. I am such an expressive person that this line that only shows up right here, like when I'm squinching, it used to be there all the time. If you go back to, 2 years ago before I ever discovered this, I look older than I look now. And my face was horribly broken out like all of the time. And then I had subpar makeup packed on top of it. So like, it was just a hot mess. I am totally at peace. These things are vegan, non-GMO. They're never tested on animals. We test on ourselves. There's so many things about these products that I love, and not only am I like totally okay with it, I put it on my daughter. My whole family uses all of the body wash, the lotion, the scrub, all of that. I'm completely confident in it. Now, somebody else may look into everything and they may not feel the same, and that's totally fine. Like, no, I'm not offended about that at all. Although I will say, one of my rock stars, our whole thing started when she messaged me saying, I can't buy this. And I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to. So I never have to argue with anybody who has a problem with it, because like, it's also personal. Like everything that we use and choose and we put on our body and we put in our body, like that's totally Like, I'm never going to tell somebody that they're wrong. Does that make sense? Like, I would never argue with somebody that's like, I just can't get over this. Danielle's like, I know who that was. So that's totally okay. If you go to the website, you can go look into, you can go to the products, navigate through them. You can click on ingredients, and then I love the details tab, because you can look at the ingredients list and it looks all crazy, and then you realize that those are technical names for very common things that are botanical extracts and all this different stuff. I love the details on each product, and anybody, you don't have to be a distributor to get to that. You can get to that. Do you think that the timing had to do with your success? Maybe because your kids aren't babies. Do you think it's realistic to take on a business with 2 small kids? Okay, this is one of my favorite things about this. Because you don't have auto ship, so you're not under the gun. If there's days where you can't work, you just don't. Some of the biggest rock stars I know are literally, Bethany, they have 12 months to return anything. Empty bottle. They can send back empty bottles at 11 months, and I'm going to groan, and this has never happened, but I would refund them. And then, like, for me personally, I am flexible and work something out with people if they have, like, I've had people that try to come back after 12 months. I couldn't refund their money, but I was able to make it work for them anyways, and, like, just take care of them as my customer. Okay, so I'm thinking of so many girls that I've seen build their businesses literally from their phones during nap time while nursing. Like, the truth is that I almost feel like the reason that I needed this so much last year was because Ben was still here. And the reason that, like, I wish I had had this before was because sometimes those seasons where you're at home with small children, you need something that is your own. And yeah, you need to be able to put it away and have it not consume your life. And that's why I love how scalable this is. You can go big. You can have fun with it. I think that's one of the best things about it. I'm thinking of my friend Jamie Thomas. I'm thinking of, like, so many girls anywhere on the, oh yeah, Nikki, Amber, oh, all these girls are literally on my team, and they're building businesses with small children at home. My friend Mary, she built her business exploded while she had a crushed foot. She couldn't get off her couch, you know? So because I would say more than ever, having something like this that's fun, as long as you're a person that can always keep your priorities in check, because of course, hi Anita, because of course our kids always come first. I don't think that has to be a factor. I think it's personality based. Do I think timing was involved for me? Yes, but even I would get started right now. So, let's see. Yeah, or get some testimonials, Bailey. So let's see. Okay, here was another really good kind of hard question. Okay. Most of my friends selling makeup, I'm just being honest, are really beautiful and with or without makeup. Are there successful, ordinary looking people in your business? Like, that's a real question, okay? And I completely understand this question, because I think personally, if I was looking at some of the top people or some of the people that I see selling it, like, I would feel really intimidated if I had been watching this happen and I see, like, I'm sorry, like, I look at the queens and the empresses and these girls, and, like, they're so gorgeous. And the thing is that this business, because, like, it's not just the fashion bloggers, it's not just the makeup artists, it's not just, like, models and beauty queens that are super successful with this. It's people that are willing to, well, first of all, the most important thing is to try it, I believe, and fall in love with it. Like, really the most successful people, it comes out of, like, a passion and from being a person that naturally wants to share what you love. That is completely, like, that's kind of the magic key. But in terms of, let's be completely non-politically correct, let's be completely, oh, you're so sweet. Let's be completely, like, non-beat around the bush and just be really, really frank and answer the question how I know it was intended. Do you have to be model looking, size 2 person with perfect hair to be successful? And the 100% answer would be no. I know people, and I have people on my team of every size and shape, of every age. Oh my gosh, I have got some amazing women that are like my mom's age, that are my grandma's age. I've got young girls. Yes, it's really true. Beauty is never going to hold you back. Now, the girl that I happen to know, of course, who answered this question, so I'm like, you specifically, you don't need to worry about that because you're freaking adorable. But what's more important is the work you put in, but then also like working on understanding where you're going to be most successful. Yes, confidence, working on things like selfies, if that's how you're selling. If you're selling in person, that's not as important. But when I went to Cabo, there was every demographic, which of course those are people that earned the trip there, every checkbox was filled. You could find somebody in every shape, every age, every, I don't even know how to say that, like every part of a scale of how somebody would appearance-wise only evaluate people through the eyes, through the lens of like our culture, like American culture, like everything is represented. So that I think is really cool. So it's really hard to answer that question very honestly and like not offend in any way. So hopefully I did a good job. How am I doing? Okay, I'm doing good. Okay, you said you didn't invest a lot to start this. What do you mean? I invested a lot of, like, don't be confused. I invested no money, but I invested a lot of effort. Originally, I did that because I wanted a whole bunch of LipSense so then I could have whatever I wanted. I had no intention of doing the business. The beauty spectrum, there you go. Like, superficial, skin deep, appearance-wise. That's what I was talking about. Yay, thank you, Carrie. I just wanted to get my LipSense and be done. And it all started from there. And since my whole point was to not spend money, I didn't. And I didn't go get business cards. And I didn't spend like any money. I like built it. Everything came from the money that I made based off of my effort. And so that's what I mean. It's not that I didn't invest a lot. It's that I didn't invest a lot of money. So that's the key. And that's what I teach people to do. And then the last question is the hardest and the one that makes me the most uncomfortable to answer. So I'm just going to spit it out, okay? And this came from somebody that I know pretty well. And so, like, it was just a really honest question. She said, let's be real. I have 3 friends who sell this, and no offense, but why should I sign up with you? I'm like, oh, I love you so much. Okay, so she clearly wanted me to answer honestly, so I'm going to answer honestly. If it's a matter of you're going to destroy your family relationships by signing up with me and it's like a sister-in-law and it's going to get ugly and it's going to be horrible, that is something you should probably really carefully evaluate before you do. Because even a business venture is not worth destroying your family for. If you're just talking about like a normal situation where people are like functional and like it's a relatively healthy situation, then I'm going to answer it now from that perspective, because I do feel like I have to throw out there the first part, the first caveat, because that's reality for some people. Okay, like I don't have crazy in my family, and very well, like that kind of crazy in my family. I have a lot of other crazy, but I have seen this, and I have literally told people, you know what, I don't think it's worth it. I have this open training page. There's these resources here. There's these resources there. I really think if you want peace in your family, you better go there. For everybody else, this is really hard because I have so many people that I think are amazing that sell this, but I'm just going to say, I think that you should sign up with me. You know who you are, because I have what you need. I have literally built an entire training university. It's available. There's one part that's open to anybody anywhere in my downline, but the majority of it is actually held back. It's for people on my 1st through 5th line, and then the very best section of it is for people that are on my 1st line. And I have training that it's currently unparalleled. I teach people how to build their business off of success and not off of debt. I don't want commission on your debt. You're never going to get a phone call from me or get a message from me asking you to order. Even though, like, I'm sitting here hanging out and, like, until some people order, like, I don't hit my next rank. I'm okay with that because I'm always going to choose the people on my team's well-being over me getting ahead, all right? Although, like, I am seriously, like, I know you're going to order. Like, dying for the announcement. But that's the reality of it. The people on my team, I think that they would not unanimously, but pretty unanimously tell you that I give you the skills and I teach you and I invest in you. I don't just worry about your business, I worry about you as a human being. And I do a lot of personal development. I also, let's be honest, I am one of the state leaders of Texas, and there's only 3 of us. That is a huge compliment that was paid to me by corporate, and I think it says a lot. The way that they choose that is people who are passionate about training. I actually have to pull in my urges because I would spend all of my time investing in my team and not building my personal business. But that results in, oh, you guys are so sweet. Like that's how you keep it going, is by continuing to build your personal business also. I do open training for teams all over the company. Just last week, 2 different groups, they're up to like 30,000 girls now. Like those are the places where like I have the privilege to speak into, and like they're asking me to speak and teach for a reason. I'm really good at what I do. Ooh, that was scary to say. Guys, guess what? I'm a really good leader. I'm really good at what I do. And I think this might be the best reason, because when I've gotten a message from a girl that, you know what, it didn't click for her. She wasn't afraid to say so, and she wasn't afraid to say, you know what, this didn't work for me. And my response to her was to tell her that I understood and I knew that it wasn't her fault, that, you know what, once in a while, not once in a while, okay, let's be honest, this isn't for everybody, but anybody can try it, okay? And when she said that, you know what, she needed to sell off what she had and be done, I said that I loved her, and that was totally fine with me. If she wanted to send me any customers she had, I'd be happy to help them. If she wanted to go back to being my customer, that was great. It's not one of the, like, I'm not a person that is going to make you feel crappy. And like, I care more about my team as people than I do about my check, even though my check is awesome. So that is the end of the really hard questions that made me extremely uncomfortable, but you know what? Those are honest questions. In all actuality, if you know you've got some friends that are doing this and you want to do it as a business, then you should make a business decision, and you should probably choose to sign up with a person that you think is going to get your business off to the biggest start, right? Isn't that like what we do? Now, if you just want to have some fun, different story, okay? All right, I don't think I can take any more. Love you all. If you have like follow-up questions, you can send them to me and I'll do another one. So there's some hard questions. That was fun. Way too early for a drink.